Last week, if you were awake and not busy shouting at a thumbnail, we laid out a simple but, uncomfortable idea. Companions are not passengers, not audience surrogates, and not mascots. They're stress fractures. They're the points where the Doctor's decisions collide with something fragile, human, and permanent. We worked through the Hartnell era companion by companion, applying the same ruthless rules throughout one defining challenge. No repeats, no safety nets, no nostalgia goggles. And the thing people kept deliberately missing is this isn't about who faced the biggest monster. It's about who changed, who lost certainty, who lost innocence, who lost trust, stability, or safety, and never quite got it back. So this week we continue. Same rules, same venom. We're moving into the Truton era. And before anyone starts whining, yes, I'm doing this strictly in order of when the companion joins, not when it's emotionally convenient. If their defining challenge comes later in the timeline, tough. Life doesn't organize itself into tidy essays, and Doctor Who certainly doesn't. That's not an oversight, that's the point. And remember, this is my opinion, and I'm looking at each companion's tenure as an overarching narrative, if you like. I'm taking it on from modern views and 90s standards of storytelling, as not all stories from this time had the same writers or script editors. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon, and today we're continuing our look at the Doctor's companions. Not as cheerleaders, not as mascots, but as people tested, bent, and sometimes broken by the universe the Doctor drags them through. Let's start where the second Doctor's era really begins to bite. Ben and Polly joined through the Hartnell era, so they've already been covered. So let's move on. Jamie McCrimmon is remembered as the loyal one, the brave one, the kilted charge first, think later companion. And honestly, that reputation does him a disservice. Jamie's real challenge isn't a monster, it's authority and learning that the Doctor is not infallible. You can see the cracks forming early. In Evil of the Daleks, the Doctor manipulates Jamie's loyalty without explanation, risking his life to serve a larger plan. In the Moonbase, Jamie's belief in folklore, the Phantom Piper, is exploited by the Cybermen even if they didn't know they were doing it, forcing him to confront how little protection superstition offers against industrial horror. But those are moments of doubt. The Dominators is where doubt hardens into responsibility. On Dulcus, Jamie isn't reacting anymore, he's acting. When the Dominators want to reduce an entire planet to raw fuel, Jamie organizes resistance, fights with weapons from scraps even if it's a boulder, and takes on Quarks with nothing but nerve and anger. And, crucially, he does this while the Doctor is captured and enslaved. Jamie doesn't freeze, he doesn't wait, he fills the vacuum. This is the moment Jamie learns something deeply uncomfortable. Sometimes the Doctor won't save you, sometimes he can't, and sometimes he disappears into the machinery of a bigger plan, leaving you to decide who lives and who dies. By the time the Dominator ship explodes, Jamie has crossed a line. He's no longer just the Doctor's sword. He's a leader in his own right. That's Jamie's challenge. Growing up fast in a universe that doesn't care about bravery unless it's backed by action, then it's taken away. Victoria's challenge isn't a monster, it's fear. Sustained, cumulative, and unresolved. From the moment she joins the TARDIS, Victoria is traumatized. Her father is murdered by Daleks in front of her. That's not an adventure. That's a psychological wound. And instead of time to heal, she's swept into increasingly hostile environments where screaming isn't weakness, it's honesty. By fury from the deep, that fear has, calcified. The seaweed creature is almost secondary. What breaks Victoria isn't the threat, it's how she's used. Robson kidnaps her. The Doctor weaponizes her screams. Her terror is amplified, broadcast, and exploited as a solution. And it works. The danger ends. The adults congratulate themselves. Victoria is left hollow. Her defining moment isn't bravery, it's clarity. She realizes that everywhere the Doctor goes, danger follows, and that she is always afraid, not sometimes, always. So she stops, not in defeat, in self-preservation. Victoria leaving isn't weakness, it's emotional honesty. She refuses to normalize terror, refuses to turn trauma into background noise. Her challenge is recognizing that the Doctor will never make the universe safe for her, and choosing herself anyway. The Brigadier is the longest-serving companion Doctor Who ever had, though, honestly, even calling him a companion feels a bit wrong. He doesn't wander, he doesn't follow, he stands his ground. You could argue his introduction alone qualifies as a challenge. Yetis in the underground, ancient intelligences whispering through snowstorms, and a man who keeps changing his face, yet insists he's the same person. The show never clearly states when the Brigadier believes in regeneration, and that ambiguity, well, it matters. Soldiers log outcomes, not metaphysics. But, none of that is his defining test. His real challenge is moral. And it comes because he is a soldier. In Doctor Who and the Silurians, he's faced with a truth no doctrine prepares you for. Humanity are not the rightful owners of Earth. The Silurians were here first, and at least one of them is willing to coexist. The Doctor pushes for peace, Liz supports him, dialogue exists, and the Brigadier tries longer than many commanders would. But when people die, when bacteria becomes a weapon, when containment slips toward catastrophe, doctrine takes over. Survival at all costs. The key moment isn't the shooting, it's what follows. The Silurians retreat. Peace is fragile, delayed, but still possible. The Doctor explicitly demands the caves be left untouched, and the Brigadier orders them destroyed anyway. This isn't panic. This isn't malice. This is doctrine. From his perspective, he's prevented a future war. From the Doctor's, it's genocide. And the horror is that the Brigadier understands the Doctor's outrage and still pulls the trigger. That's his challenge. He learns there are lines the Doctor won't cross, and that he, by his nature, sometimes must. He doesn't leave, he doesn't break, he stays, salutes, and fires. Zoe is the easiest choice on the list. Not because the Cybermen are iconic, but because they are her mirror. When Zoe joins the TARDIS, she's already halfway to what the Cybermen want humanity to become. Brilliant, logical, emotionally restrained. The Wheel treats her as an asset, not a person, and she's comfortable with that. That's the first reason the Cybermen define her challenge. She recognizes herself in them before she recognizes the danger. In The Wheel in Space, Zoe defeats them through calculation, not courage. She spacewalks under fire, suppresses fear, and functions flawlessly. At this point, the Cybermen validate her worldview. The real challenge comes later. By the invasion, Zoe is strategically indispensable. She predicts fleet movements, coordinates defenses, and helps save the planet through logic alone. And that's the trap. The Cybermen wouldn't want to kill Zoe. They want to perfect her. That's why the Brotherhood of Logicians matters. The idea that humanity should abandon emotion and become something cleaner, more efficient. Zoe proves that argument can be seductive. Her challenge isn't resisting conversion. It's recognizing that logic without empathy is surrender. And then Doctor Who delivers its cruelest twist. Her memories are erased. The growth is taken from her. The lesson she earned through confronting the Cybermen is removed. They don't just challenge her, they almost justify her. That's not victory, that's containment. Benton's challenge isn't a monster. It isn't a mastermind. It isn't even a single story. It's hierarchy. Where the Brigadier wrestles with conscience, Benton doesn't get that luxury. He follows orders, he executes, he trusts that someone above him has already done the thinking. And when that trust is misplaced, Benton pays for it. His defining failure comes in the Daemons. Tasked with securing the Master, Benton hesitates. Not from cowardice, but from procedure, control, containment. The Master escapes again. That failure shadows his entire run. Benton is often in situations where initiative would save the day, but initiative isn't what he's trained for. He waits, he defers, he assumes structure will hold. Doctor Who punishes that assumption. Unlike the Brigadier, Benton is never allowed moral debate. He's the mechanism through which decisions are enacted, and when plans collapse, he's the one exposed. His challenge isn't overcoming evil. It's realizing that obedience is not the same as responsibility. Benton survives, but he rarely wins, and that's the point. That's where we'll stop for now. Not because the subject is exhausted, far from it, but because next week we're shifting focus slightly, something adjacent. Make no mistake, I'm not finished with this topic, not even close, because Doctor Who loves to celebrate monsters' speeches and victories, but it's the companions who pay the price, and someone needs to keep track of that bill. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where naturally, I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.